Hey guys, Brian here. I get a day off and of course it rains, so you can see I've been working on getting my wall framed up over there. Got the base all down. I'm going to take and drill that to the concrete, and then I can tie the posts to that too, so the bottom of that wall will be secure, won't be able to move. So I'm working on getting that done whenever it's not raining. And then I'm going to get my 2x10s in here and run them up to the rafters. Take that cross brace out because we're going to do it a little different. I gotta get the barn a little bit wider. These posts here are sitting vertical right now, so in order for my wall to be outside of the concrete, you can see down through where it overlaps, I gotta go another 2x width down through here, so the wall will be exactly square, and I'll be able to overhang so that water can't get up underneath the wall. It'll all be hanging down. The last board will be outside the concrete. Now I'm gonna put the insulation down through there too. I'll dig out up against the wall and put some styrofoam so all the heat doesn't just conduct out. So that's the plan, but gotta get it to quit raining first. So. But since it's raining, we're gonna work on this instead. So I'm gonna get this, try and get these housings off here so I get this shaft loose, so I can cut this weld off here, get this sprocket off. Got the gearbox took off. So, which it ended up being, it's too small, it's under capacity. So it has a likelihood that it could fail and drop the load, so we don't want that. And I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and put this all back manual like original. So I'm not going to use it on this 15 ton that much, so the amount of chain I have to pull is not that big a deal. And it's going to save me a bunch of money versus doing the electric. I'll have a nice fine control over the raise and the lower, so should work out pretty good. I'm going to have to run all the electric wire and stuff, so I'll be able to gut all this off, and it moves pretty easy. So I mean, I can roll the cable in my hand, so it won't be bad to pull. Of course, if it gets weight on it, it'll be a lot stiffer, but that's the plan. So I'm gonna get to taking this thing apart. Okay, so I got the shaft off here. Now all I gotta do is get this weld cut off here so that we can get that gear there put on here, which also needs the hub board, and this other side face to the proper offset, so that when it's up against the hub here, it's lined up right with the other gear. So let's get this up in the lathe and see about getting it cut off. Alright, so I've got a center cut in the end here. We got it running less than 1/1000 there. And this isn't perfect here. It's a little scored up from the ears, but should be good enough. I can get an opposite hand lathe tool in here and get to cutting on this weld and see about getting this sprocket cut off here. So that's what I'm gonna do next. That gap of rust tells me we've cut loose. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Yep. You're about right. I mean, 19, 20, 35, 36, 37. Yep, 19, 37 and a half. So that's what it is. Alright, so we got the shaft all cleaned up. Got the weld polished down to size. So we're 1 5/16 is what we need the bore to be on the gear. And we're going to have to put a 1/2 inch keyway in it to match this. So let's get the gear chucked up in here and get it done. Now we got this shaft done, cleaned up pretty nice. A lot of times the weld will have bad undercut in it, but this was pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Alright, so I got this gear chucked up. And got it indicated in for less than a 1/2 thou on that bore, so that should be good. Yeah, and that's actually got a little bump in it there, so I think it's actually the tip's picking up the tooling because it's a rough finish bore. So I think that 1/2 thou it's picking up is actually the highs and the lows and the where the cutter come out, but we should be good anyway. So get the boring bar in here and punch this out. I guess maybe first I'll go ahead and face this down to the dimension I want. I'd like to have a 1/2 inch sticking off here, so I'll take about 3/4 off and put our hole in. Alright, so there's the bore with a CNMG 431. I've got a fine finish Seco that I got. I'm going to try that and see how that does. Okay, so we got the gear fitted up. Got my taper key made. These are sometimes used in, well, this has got several of them on here. Here's one here. This is all put together with taper keys. I use those instead of set screws on some of this older machinery. So I got that key made up. Got a 1 1/8 taper to it, and you just knock it in there, and that locks this gear on the shaft. So we got it all done up there. Turns the drum. So now we got to do is get this gear here, get it on shaft, and it'll be ready to turn this. We'll get that done, then we'll see about getting the ratcheting part mounted in here and get the chain wheel put up on here. So that's next.